Okay, so we're back to the atomic bombs, the controversy. The estimate, we had scuttlebutt on the ship, which were the rumors that the word was around that if we had to invade the Japanese homeland, we could possibly lose 2 or 3 aircraft carriers. Now, since I was on one of those aircraft carriers out there, there's probably maybe a dozen of the fleet carriers out there at the time. I thank God for Harry Truman making the decision to drop those bombs. My dad was out there also, but he was on his way home. I'll tell you a family history story later. But anyhow, after the surrender and after the ships went into Tokyo Bay for the signing of the surrender. But if you look on the internet and look at the names of the ships that were in Tokyo Bay for the surrender, you will not see a name of any of the big aircraft carriers. There was one light carrier, but no big aircraft carriers. My contention, and later on other people had confirmed it the same, my contention was that Admiral Halsey and Admiral Nimitz did not trust the Japanese. Now, Admiral Nimitz was the commander-in-chief of the Pacific Fleet, SIGPAC. And I don't think they trusted the Japanese, because we were at battle stations all during the time of the surrender. On September the 2nd, when they were signing the surrender papers, we were at battle stations. We were ready. I remember that specifically because they gave us K rations for lunch and ice cream. Rather than go to the mess deck to eat lunch, they brought it up to us. So I know that that was a banner day for us, but September the 2nd, we will be celebrating that, our 75th anniversary on Wednesday, June the 2nd. Now, ironically, June the 2nd, 1945 was also the 20th birthday of one of our residents here at the Hermitage, Stanley Turkel, turned 20 years old on that day. So we'll be celebrating his 95th birthday on September the 2nd. Big celebration for Stanley. But, so anyhow, at the end of the war, after the Japanese had formally stopped, we had a Marine detachment on the Wasp, and we highlined them to a destroyer, and then it went into be part of the occupation forces. And the stories are that the occupation forces, when they started going around through the island, they found many caves that the Japanese had built. The Japanese were great for caves, and in those caves there were hundreds and hundreds of kamikaze planes ready to attack us if we were going to invade the homeland. So those kamikaze planes would have caused a lot of destruction, killed a lot of people, probably close to the million like they're talking about. So let me go back a little bit and start from a little bit earlier, give you some of my own personal history. On December 7th, 1941, I was a junior in high school. We were living in a small town in central San Joaquin Valley in California. My dad was a World War I veteran. He had lied about his age to enlist in the Navy in June of 1918, a few months before the surrender in November of 1918. So he was a Navy veteran. After December the 7th, he enlisted again when he was sworn in on January the 1st, 1942. He went to a ship in Norfolk, and later on a ship in New York, and then out to the Pacific. But after he left to go back in the Navy. We finished out our school year and moved to Los Angeles, and I did my senior year of high school in Los Angeles. And after graduation, I enlisted in the Navy. Now there's a story before that, but I won't bore you with it now. But I had tried to get in earlier. I had made an application. Yeah, I'm going to bore you with this. I had applied for Naval Aviation Cadet Training. I wanted to be a flyer. I had enough credits to graduate early in a mid-year. So I sent my application in and was called in for a physical. The first part of the physical was an eye exam. So they gave me the eye exam, and of course without glasses. And they had a chart that had letters on it, 100 letters, 10 rows and 10 columns of letters, all the same size, all the different letters, all the letters of the alphabet, on one chart. And I'd never seen a chart like that before. I've never seen another one since then. And a lot of the optometrists that I talked to had never heard of it before. But it was an anomaly then at the time. But anyhow, I read all the letters correctly, right eye, left eye, without the glasses. The corpsman thought maybe I had memorized the chart, but maybe. So he called the doctor over. The doctor came over, and I read some of the other letters. And he said, okay, cover the left eye and the right eye. Read the fourth column from the right, bottom to top. Read the third row from the bottom, left to right. Read the third column from the left, top to bottom. Back and forth, left eye, right eye, reading up and down, left and right. And the guy got all the letters, and he was astounded, I guess. So he took my glasses and he held them up to the glass like this, and he says, "Why are you wearing glasses?" And I said, "Astigmatism." So he said, "Okay." So he opened up the colorblind chart, the book, the book that had all these, the circles, all colored dots in it. I guess the circles were maybe 4 or 5 inches in diameter. With all the colored dots had numbers, with 4 numbers. And a normal a person with normal color perception could read the numbers easily. People with abnormal color perception would read the wrong numbers. Well, so he had the book open and he said, "Okay, read the numbers, 39, 54, 43, 50. He slammed the book closed and he said, "You can't even get in the Navy, you're colorblind." Well, I was devastated. But I had heard about an optometrist that cured color blindness. I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. Long story short, I went to him. I took 33 treatments, looking into a little some kind of a pulsating light that the optometrist said would stimulate the optic nerve. And he had the book also. So, long story short, after 33 treatments, I could read the right numbers. So I went back after graduation. I enlisted, went to the recruiting office and recruiting station, and during the physical examination, I read the numbers and everything. And so it started my naval career. So that was the beginning of my 20 years. Let me tell you a couple of short stories about my dad. When he went back in, he was 42 years old. And he was on a ship in Norfolk. Of course, being